brain injury community, Sean.
Angela. We were a fair bit to actually talk about today, and hopefully we won't run too long. A big thing I wanted to talk about was, well, October is Mental Health Awareness Month.
Yes.
So I wanted to be open about what's actually been happening at the moment. Last week, I think the last time we spoke with you guys, I was getting very excited because the brain injury community ran its first workshop for support providers and allied health workers. This one was, we had support providers attend the workshop. So yeah, very excited for that to be happening. Sean's just gone to fix the glare situation. Anyway, and that went extremely well. It went really well. I will admit, in a nutshell, the last few months I have been struggling, and it kind of everything's involved in it. So I'm sorry if I feel like I'm here, there, and everywhere. But what's actually been happening with me is I have been so overwhelmed with literally getting the charity going, and making sure that I'm doing it justice with what I have available, that I've kind of let everything else fall to the wayside. Everything from like social life to even my home life. Like it's kind of like, oh my God, I sound like, you know, I've got to stop saying that L word. It's been, what's been going through my mind is everything that I have done previously under Angela Kay. It's kind of like it's me. I'm always, even though I'm talking about brain injury and all people suffering with brain injury and that kind of stuff, it's always just been me. And it's kind of like, well, if you screw up, or if I say something to offend someone or whatever, well, they're getting offended at me, and the only one that's going to suffer is me. Whereas with the brain injury community, I really find I'm representing not just myself, but I'm representing everyone that has a brain injury and their families. So I have put a lot of pressure and felt a lot of pressure on myself about that, because if I screw up, or if I say something wrong or do something wrong, they're not just going to look at me and kind of like just push me to the side as, you know, absolutely not a fruitcake kind of thing. The reputation of all those with the brain injury, like the brain injury community, I feel is going to suffer. So I've put a lot of pressure on myself. Does that make sense? In that way as well, that it's not just me anymore, it's everybody. So I need to make sure I do right and do the best that I can for everyone. And I'm really, like I have been, and I really do feel that pressure. Like with the workshop, I just wanted everything to be right, everything to be perfect. And like as I said, my whole world has literally revolved. Every thought that I've had is revolving around the brain injury community, to the point where everything in my life has fallen to the side. Like my car was an absolute pigsty. Oh my God. My house. I'm not exactly like Queen. I'm not, what's her face? Who's that chick? Kondo? I'm not her in organisation by any means, but you know, at the moment, my God, I think parts of my house I'm looking a bit like the hoarder, because it's just, even the idea of like tidying my room, for instance, is so overwhelming and uses so much of my energy. Everything has just fallen to the side, and I really kind of felt like this close to snapping and this close to going over the edge. And so yeah, it's been tough. And like last week after the workshop, I put a lot of pressure on myself, and after the workshop, I mean, I was very lucky to be in this position, in that my flatmate was going on a holiday up to Port Douglas, and it was just an off-the-cuff comment. And well, Wednesday lunchtime, the comment was made. Thursday morning, Sian and I were on an airplane to Port Douglas. And it was really the best thing for me, in that it took me totally out of my environment. I literally really tried not to think brain injury, and when I found myself thinking brain injury, the community, I could literally lie on my back in the pool and really, no, Ange, you have to stop. You've got to give yourself this break before you drive yourself into an absolute meltdown. So I did take that time to kind of step away and just not think, if that makes sense.
One night you entered into nothingness.
I did.
Which I think is a good tool to talk to people about. I mean, water.
Yeah. Water is very grounding to me.
Healing.
Yeah, and the ocean in particular. But this, like, what I found myself doing whilst we were away was I would literally go into the pool at 9-10 o'clock at night, even later when there was no one around, and I would just float, grab the pool noodles, and just lie in the pool and float and stare at the sky and just think about nothing. And I really did need that, because it's really hard for me to shut down. And a couple of nights there, Sian didn't stay in our room. Was it one night, 2 nights? I can't remember.
2 nights.
And a couple of days I literally spent the time on my own. I said to her, go off, do what you've got to do. I just need to be on my own. And I did. I literally sat in the room and spent some time crying and some time processing. And I still really do struggle with old me versus new me. And doing the brain injury community has really brought that back to the front again. Because I did learn to deal with it. And it was just me, and I would make sure I did something every day. I would go out and do something. I would go with friends. I would go and sit on the beach, or even just clean the house. But every day I did something. But since starting the brain injury community, I haven't done any of that. And it's every day my thoughts have been brain injury community, what needs to be done. And it's, I suppose, what takes me half a day to do, or what takes me 5 weeks to do, would be what someone else does what would take me like a week to do, 5 days to do, would normally take someone about half a day. So it's not just a case of do it and forget it, because it's so hard to get things going and to do things, and because I'm constantly doubting myself. Am I doing it right? Have I done it the right way? Have I done all that I was supposed to do? Is there something else I need to do? Okay, where do I go next from here? Am I doing it the best way possible? All of those things come into it, and it's hard. It's really hard. So I'm constantly doubting myself. I'm comparing old me, new me. In a nutshell, it's been tough. I've got to learn new ways of how to deal with it. I've got to acknowledge it, that's what's actually happening in my head. I need to go back to counselling, because I stopped going because I haven't had time to. I've literally just concentrated solely on this, that I just haven't had time to do anything else. And to put it into perspective, I love the water. Even though I say the word surfing, let's use that very loosely, because what I do out there is not called traditional surfing. And 2 weeks ago, I was given the green light, and I still haven't been out on a board, because I know that when I do, that's 2 days out. That's 2 days out of commission for me. which means 2 days that I can't brain injury community. And it's so important to get the community going for not me, but for those living with a brain injury, and doing the best that I can for the brain injury community as a whole, that comes first. And I know I need to work on that, in that I need to put me first. Yeah. And it's been difficult. It has been difficult. I think I would have fallen in a heap without a doubt and gotten there a lot quicker if it wasn't for the support that I've had from Sian and my flatmate Elise, because Elise in particular will come on, Ange, you need to eat. Come on, Ange, come on, Ange, or Mama Bear as she calls me, which is like, I'm 10 years older than her, yet I'm Mama Bear for some reason, seriously. She's, come on, Mama Bear, let's get you out of bed. Come on, Mama Bear, let's do this. The dining table has just literally been storage. And I got out of bed yesterday and she'd cleaned the dining table up. Just little things like that, because I looked at it and I almost started crying looking at it when we got back. And it was like, oh my God, I've got to face that. And just the simple task of taking it off the dining table and putting it into the spare room was beyond me. Like, it was literally tomorrow job. That's a tomorrow job. Yeah. I have lots of tomorrow jobs. So yeah, without like that support that Elise and Sian have shown me, like I definitely would have been in a heap and sitting in a corner rocking a lot sooner. And whereas I kind of settled myself in the corner, I didn't start the crying and the wailing and the rocking. So I'm glad that I was able to get myself out of the corner before I started the wailing and the rocking. So that's what's been happening. Old me, new me raises its head and really makes every challenge every day really hard. Really hard. But luckier than most, I have that support around me. That means I don't get to that point now. Thanks, ladies. So there you go. That's what's been happening. Mental Health Awareness Month. Take the time to look after you.
Yeah.
No matter how big or small it may be, take the time to look after you. Handy hint for the day. Thank you.
So let us know what you do to look after you.
Yeah.
YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, all
like,
the places.
share, comment, all of that stuff. I'm everywhere. Everywhere. Anyway.
Till the next time.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.